How's it going, everyone? Today, we're gonna go over something a little bit different. I'm just kind of gonna go over what's in my collection right now, but a little bit closer up. So, I've decided that all of the actual collectibles that I'm going to have are pretty much gonna be how they're how you see on the screen right now. If I'm gonna get it to collect it, I'm probably going to open it from now on. There's gonna be a few things that I'll keep closed and in the package, but if I want to actually collect it, I'm going to open it from now on. And that decision started a little while ago. And we're gonna go in order from what I remember me acquiring these cars. So this isn't the very first car that I got, like first Hot Wheels or anything like that. And what you're gonna see are premiums from Hot Wheels, semi-premiums, potentially other brands as well. There's quite a few brands in here. It may be a premium, it may not be a premium in that brand, but all of these cars mean something to me in some way, shape, or form. So we'll start it off with the 2-pack Skyline, the Liberty Walk R34, and the original Super Silhouette. So these guys, I had these a while ago, and they were completely closed in their neat little 2-pack and everything. But I decided that, well, basically when I decided that I was going to open everything that I had, I decided that this was just going to be the way to go about it from now on. So it started with those two, and then it went from there. Pretty much after those two Skylines, a lot of the things that I had were either given or sold to my brother. So they're still technically within the family, but they're not here at the moment, and that's totally fine. The next biggest one, besides the two Skylines there, is a Mini GT Chase that I got when I was at Laguna Seca for IMSA last year. This is the BMW GT3, and this is the Chase version of that. I can't remember what race this was from. I think it was Daytona. I think it was a Daytona winner. I'm not 100% positive, but there's that one. This is one of my favorites because I went to Laguna Seca with my brother and my nephew, and this was acquired there. So it means a lot to me, just specifically because a lot happened that day. A lot of good stuff happened that day. Next up on the list is another one that I just randomly, or one that I happened to come across at Target and Walmart, and that is the i20N from Majorette, and this was the WRC version. Not necessarily a follower of WRC. Fan of it, sure, yeah. I'm a fan of most motorsports. But I picked this up because it's one of the closest resembling cars to my current vehicle right now, which is a Veloster N. So there's no die-cast versions of the Veloster N right now, but hopefully soon. That would be kind of nice. And next up we have the Stagia R34 from Street Weapon. I am a wagon person. I do enjoy a good wagon, and you'll see that coming up at the end here of this little list. I say little, but there's a good amount of stuff in here that I've opened up so far that I'm deciding to keep. But you'll see a theme. I'm sure you're already noticing a theme. The Stagia is, I don't think it was ever brought over here to the States. I'm fairly positive it never was. That's not the normal front end look of it, but you can put an R34 Skyline front end on this. I'm pretty sure it also has the same drivetrain. It's kind of one of those like Subaru Forester is a WRX kind of thing. Pretty similar, but yeah, I finally saw one of these in real life the other day. It was in white, and it was the Autech version. Ooh, maybe I'll flash up a picture if I remember to. Next one is the first, like, it's not like a Tomica Limited or anything like that. It's not a limited vintage or anything. It's just, this one means a lot to me because a friend of mine and someone who I used to work with before my layoff went to Japan, and he asked me, is there anything that I can get you to bring back? This is what he brought back for me. I didn't ask for anything big. I didn't want anything big, and this didn't really cost that much either. So this is the Honda Civic Type R, the new one, in white from Tomica. And honestly, it's just one of my favorites because it came directly from Japan. I know, like, yeah, he sent a picture of the store and everything. It was super cool. And I'll try and pull that up too if I remember to. But this one just means a lot to me because a buddy went all the way to Japan, basically, and decided to bring it back for me. And as we know, luggage space when you go to Japan, very limited. Very, very limited. Speaking of limited, my knowledge on this guy coming up next is also very limited. It has a label of 1991, but I was given this car when my mom and I went to a flea market, and it was like one of the first like mother-son days that we had in a really long time, and I'll full on admit that I'm a mama's boy. She raised two very destructive boys all by herself, among many, many, many other things that saint of a woman has ever done. And this is just kind of one of those memory cars that I have of that day, because her and I had a heart-to-heart that day, and it meant a lot to me. I bought a few other things that are still in their packages, but this one was kind of loose, and it was given to me by basically the booth owner of where I bought the other diecast, and I got that one for free and decided, you know what, this is the memory car. This is going to be the one that we keep up there for a little bit. It took me so long to set this up too. Moving on. This one, again, it just kind of falls under my category of really cool wagons. This is the Forza edition Audi RS6 Avant. I played Forza a lot when I was a kid, and then eventually I got a PlayStation and started playing Gran Turismo, and then Forza's not really the sim of my choice, so it kind of went away once I stopped playing, pretty much once I stopped playing on the Xbox, yeah. And then next, so for quite a bit here now, a lot of these next cars are going to be things that I found, or not things that I found, things that I bought for my store. And I decided to just buy like an odd number so that I could keep at least one. And the very first one that I decided to do that for was this 2002 S15 Advan Sylvia from Mini GT. I'm not like specifically collecting Advan stuff, but honestly, like it's just clean. All of this is just super, super, super clean. Kind of hard to see the wheels. I know my lighting is not the best. I do apologize for that. See if I can get a little bit of extra light that way. There we go. That might help out a little bit. So first of the Advent cars that are coming up. Next is another Advent car, but it is from Johnny Lightning. And it's a nice little EG hatch. EGEK. I can never remember the chassis designations for Civics. I need to start learning that. Not really that big of a fan of the rear wheel fitment, or fitment for any of these wheels for that matter, but you know, it do be what it be. This one also, just like the S15, was purchased in a wholesale order lot. Same with this guy, CRX. It kind of fit two categories for me. My brother had a CRX, and we also had a CRX in the family when I was growing up. I think it was my dad's. It was either my dad's or my mom's, I don't know. But either way, that particular Civic from when I was growing up disappeared, but my brother had a lot of them. And it was a lot of fun just kind of hanging out in the garage. And a couple times, like, he picked me up at school out of them. A few good memories, but also the fact that it's Advent liveried is pretty cool. Next up is the is another very personal and good one for me. I can't afford any of the Gran Turismo 4 cars that have come out for Hot Wheels. I believe this one was the Gran Turismo 7? 6 or 7. One, I can't remember actually. Yeah, Gran Turismo 7. So this is the R34 for Gran Turismo 7. It looks pretty similar to the Pace Car R34 in Gran Turismo 4, and my brother and I played the hell out of that when we were kids. We did all the 24-hour races together in, like, on our PlayStation 2 Slim, and we had, like, 2 box fans that would just basically push air because the dang thing didn't have its own fan. So we would do that, and we'd take turns staying up all night in whoever's room we decided to set up in that day. But yeah, a lot of good memories there. So had to pick it up, and the Skyline is his favorite car, and it just kind of became one of mine as well for a multitude of reasons. So that guy's there. I think that would be it for, like, the super crazy mega special cars that I have found so far. So, and that was also part of the Diecast wholesale order. I couldn't find them for a reasonable price anywhere else, so decided to do it there. Next up is the first Kaido house. I think I actually only have 2 Kaido houses, if I'm remembering correctly, and they're both basically the same. This is the HKS R33 GTR. It's just super cool. It's a Kaido house. It's super detailed. You can see, I mean, the engine bay is fully painted. Everything is on here. It doesn't really look like it has taillights, but they're actually just green. Same thing with the headlights. They're also green tinted. My lighting is just not the greatest here. Super deep dished wheels. Very clean casting. Very nice. Honestly, I like it. And then its brother, the Carbon R, which is the same thing. Kaido house, R33 GTR. Very deep dished wheels. Did not get chases for these. Oh well. And then next I'll have a dual pairing because they're the same car. The 24 Hours of Lemons edition CRXs. I want to go to one of these events, and there's one at a track near me, and I need to actually look it up and get into it. But kind of going back to, you know, it's their CRXs. I wanted to buy cars that I enjoyed and that I had really good memories of. And although I haven't done or been to a 24 Hours of Lemons, I really, really, really want to. These are more Johnny Lightning castings, by the way. Also part of the Diecast wholesale order. If I say that something is part of the Diecast wholesale order, it is probably still up on my eBay, by the way. So if any of these that you want, yeah, they're there. The next up on the list, another Mini GT. Kind of the same thing as the Majorette, but it's another i20N, but this one's just made by Mini GT. Honestly, I think this one just has a lot more detail. Mini GT is, well, it's Mini GT. It do be what it be. Premium brand is premium detailing at its finest. And again, this is just one of those, like, it's the closest to my car that I have in diecast form right now that I can find, and it's super cool, honestly, just looking at it, because look at the dang thing. It's a spaceship. That one is Mini GT. Pretty sick. Coming up to a couple that weren't in the diecast wholesale order, but I decided to pull everything, all of the ones that you've seen so far from the diecast wholesale order. I decided to pull those out and keep those for now. And then you'll see some more in a little bit. But these next two I found out at Target, and I thought they were just really cool looking. Which one was this one again? Oh yeah, this was the Safiro A31. Nissan? Yeah. And this was a special Drift Edition box. I'm looking at it right now, but the way that I have it displayed, I can't see it. But this was someone's car, I think. I think, like, if you find the one with, like, the body kit and all that on it, that one, I think, maybe is the Chase. I'm not 100% positive how Majorette works. But yeah, I just thought this one was super cool. And I kind of wanted. I've never even heard of this car, honestly. But that's what it is when we don't get them in the States. This one I also found out at Target. This is the same trip as the Safiro, and this is the R35 GTR from Majorette. Both of those were from Majorette. Pretty clean looking. It's nice. It has a little bit of suspension on it as well. I think all Majorettes do. Don't quote me on that. And not all of them have doors opening and hood opening and stuff like that, because yeah, this one didn't have any door or hood opening, but it has suspension as well. So that was the R35 Skyline. Back to the diecast wholesale order. Now, I have a few different colors of these, and this is an old four-door Civic. And you can customize this thing like crazy. If I can slide out the box here without doing anything. It's from BM Creations. I know, hey, you can see me, ah! Yes, so it's it's from BM Creations. I'll have to do a picture of this later because right now it's really hard to do with this setup, but you can see it comes with a bunch of different parts. Those are all the stock parts that are in there. And then, yeah, you can customize it. I have 3 different colors. There's red, white, and black. But I decided to keep a red one because it was just really cool. I was looking for stuff that was like modifiers, which I'll put that one on here because technically it doesn't fit in my box, but it's also part of my premium collection. It reminded me of modifiers, so I wanted it. And modifiers is basically an old toy that you could modify. You could buy body kits and do a bunch of different things. I haven't modified this one yet, but you'll also notice a theme. CRX again. So these old toys, I think these, I can't remember the scale, but you would be able to customize everything on these. The bumpers, the side skirts, you could do the hood, a little bit in the engine bay, the wheels and the tires could all be changed. You could change seats out if you wanted to. Some kits had seats. It was a lot. And these things go for like 50, 60 bucks now plus on eBay, but So that BM Creations was kind of along the same line as that. Back to the diecast wholesale order. Coming down to the last couple, though, we have from Mini GT the Cadillac Racing prototype, the GTP prototype. This thing's just super clean. I haven't had like a prototype hypercar or anything like that as far as a model goes. As I'm looking at the Mercedes CLK, and I think it was the Porsche 918. I can't remember, but I have those two in regular premium, or not premium, in a mainline Hot Wheels form. But Cadillac, super nice, super clean looking. And then to go with it, we have the BMW as well. Both from Mini GT. I'm pretty sure there's the Acura. I don't know if there's a Porsche yet, but as soon as the Porsche one comes out, that'd be super sick. I also want the Ferrari, and I want the Lamborghini. And also Aston Martin is coming out with the Valkyrie this year in IMSA, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot of models of that. Next up, I was lucky to find this 2-pack. My favorite kind of racing is touring car racing. I want to learn more about it, and from different regions, different countries, and everything of all that. And this is just straight out of British touring car for me. This is the Nissan Primera, or Nissan, as I'm pretty sure they said it over there. But this is just super clean. I love the detail of it. I know I said I didn't really like the fitment of this EG Civic, because of how tucked in the rear wheels are. But I mean, for all I know, that's how it was in the touring car version, if that was ever raced as a touring car like that. I know these wheels are tucked. These were also cambered out usually. And yeah, you just kind of needed the room. So maybe it was like that also on the Advent Civic. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not a race car driver. I'm a pretend one. But touring cars, I want to start collecting touring cars. I know they're pretty expensive just because they come with a lot of pedigree and everything. Speaking of, I mean, this was a 2-pack, so if you know that Nissan 2-pack, then you know what's coming next. Speaking of not really having any hypercars or prototypes or anything like that, up next is the Nissan, was it the R9, or no, the R390? Yeah, the GT1. I need to watch some videos of these actually going around. I also want to get the 787B model. That would be super cool. Let's see. Up next, something a little bit different. I have seen videos of these going around, but this is the 94 Nissan 300ZX GTS. I believe this was the IMSA car. And that came with this hauler as well. Can open up the back. The hauler itself, super neat, pretty clean looking, and it all fits. This guy obviously can't fit inside of my little storage area that you saw at the beginning of the video, so he has to stay over here. And then again, since there's no models of the Veloster N right now, next best thing is to getting the alternate version of the car, and that is the Elantra N. Same platform, same drivetrain, different body. There's a lot of Elantra Ns. There's actually one Veloster N model that I've been looking at, but it's the electric version, and honestly, I just don't really care. for the electric kind of cars, but you know, one day I'm just gonna break down and probably buy it because it's the only Veloster that I'm aware of right now. So for now, we also get the Elantras. This one is in the nice actual race livery. Well, not, I don't think actual race livery, but in a livery. And then up next, my very first collection was golf stuff. And I really enjoyed golf stuff. The very first Super Treasure Hunt that I ever found from Hot Wheels was the Glory Chaser. And it was out of an Amazon pack, believe it or not. And so golf stuff I still enjoy. I'm trying to rebuild that one. So these are, you know, if you're a hunter, you know that these are peg warmers so much. The Lancia Rally 037 and the Fiat 151 of Barth. In golf, the 2-pack. It's also very clean. Really fun rally cars, honestly. Only kind of special necessarily just because they were golf, and also they were premiums. I will not lie to you. Up next is we have quite a bit from the Fast and the Furious series to round us off here. We have probably 10 more cars to go. My collection has dwindled in recent years, but we have the custom Integra sedan from the first Fast and the Furious. This was Mia's car. Super sick, very clean Integra. It's also Fast and the Furious, another series and stuff that my brother and I enjoy together. This next one's just a really clean model, and I know a lot of people enjoy this Mercedes, but it is the 500 SEL from the Fast and the Furious line. It's not crazy special or anything like that, but you know, it's a cool one. And then next is the Porsche 911, same thing from the Fast and the Furious line. A lot of these are recasts or, you know, redone, so a lot of people have seen these already, but I don't have them opened. And then I know a lot of people oh no, I don't have this LED, I don't think. No, yeah, I don't have this LED. This is the 180SX Type X, also from the Fast and the Furious line. But just very cool, clean, nice. Rounding off our Fast and the Furious line is the Racing Edge truck. This thing, it's so cool. What was it, the SVT? I think it's the SVT Lightning. I think it was, right? F-150 SVT Lightning, yeah. Just a super, super neat truck. You can do everything. You can just, remaking that scene where they're driving down is really fun. Coming in with more golf stuff and also a steering wheel being broken inside of it. A Golf Camaro. Nothing special about this whatsoever other than the fact that it's in a golf livery. And then back to some meaningful cars. Pretty much this one, the next one, and then a couple more down the line are super incredibly special to me. But I went out to Sonoma with my brother, pretty much a longtime family friend, Chris, and my nephew, Gavin, to go watch the NASCAR race. And Chase Elliott's truck had his sprint car in here. And so decided to grab that one as a memory car for that day. My grandfather wanted something Chase Elliott, so I grabbed a car for him and a shirt, and then I picked this one up as well for myself. This is his World of Outlaws car, I believe. And I think it was the Acme Trading Company that made this. Yeah, the Acme Trading Company. So, just a cool memory car that I decided to keep. Going back to the 24 Hours of Lemons cars from Johnny Lightning, a friend of mine gave me this because he was thinking about me. He's also a car guy. And that's just one of those things that makes me very happy. The hood does open, but it doesn't stay open. I believe this is the Ford Thunderbird. I apologize if I'm getting it wrong. It also doesn't say it on the bottom. This is a 24 Hours of Lemons car. I have seen this in stores a couple times. I know I've had it. I thought I gave it to him, actually, at one point, but I gave him a different color. Now, this next one, I got from a diecast store in my hometown that recently opened up. I pre-ordered this particular vehicle from Hot Wheels the moment that I was able to. I didn't actually get a pre-order from Hot Wheels. I don't think they had pre-orders available, and I didn't find it on the market. But a store that I did find pre-orders on finally just sent my pre-order out after I did it in July of last year, so over 6 months-ish. And then I ended up just finding it in my buddy's store. But it is the Premium Forester STI. And I'm so happy that it's the 04 edition, because this is what my favorite car that I've ever owned, besides my Veloster, looked like. Mine was red, and I had Sparko wheels on it instead of these ones here. But I ordered the front cut from Japan that looks exactly like this, and we removed everything from the windshield forward and swapped it to the STI. And I got the rear spoiler as well, put that on. The bumper wasn't really all that much different, and I would have needed to get rid of my rear crash bar, which I didn't want to do. So we just decided this is what it is. I named that car Pam, and honestly, it is one of my absolute favorite cars. And me owning models of cars that I've owned is kind of a big thing for me. The only other car that I've owned in diecast form that is very similar is I had this Civic with these wheels, but they were silver, and I had the same exact body kit, but I didn't have the spoiler. This is a custom Civic that I did. I didn't have... Basically, if you take the wheels that are on this Premium Forester and swap them over to this Civic, that's what my Civic looked like. Mine was black. I don't have any pictures of it. I'm pretty sad about it, but I didn't have the spoiler. I didn't have a sunroof, but it was a two-door, and it was my first ever car, and it was very fun. I enjoy it, and I miss it a lot, but the car I miss the most is Pam. Pam, my Forester. Rounding it off with the last two cars, I went down to my hometown this last weekend to help family out, and on the way down I had to stop off at a couple stores for my mom. And while I was doing that, I decided to go into Walmart in an old town that I used to live in on the way down to my mom's, and I found these two guys, which is the Subaru BRZ in the Matchbox Collector's Edition. Super nice, super clean. I enjoy the just get the detail of the car. Doesn't need to always have a livery on it, doesn't need to always have crazy tires on it or anything like that, but excuse me. Ooh, big burping. Last but not least, we have the BRE Tribute 81 Datsun 280ZX from Johnny Lightning. I'm not sure if this is like a new thing or not, but it came in a tin. That tin also is branded on the inside, which is kind of nice. Doubles as like a little display case as well. Also has some nice secure locking little clips there. And then the last two that I found while I was out was the S14 and 15 Hot Wheels 2-pack, the drift kit. And that's pretty much for my premiums, to be honest with you. I could go over some like customs that I really enjoy or something like that that I've done, but realistically, this is kind of it. So I appreciate everyone being here. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.